Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to take a look at Angels of Death Episode 3 from Warhammer TUV, from Warhammer Storyforge, the animated series on that platform. Now, this is episode number 3, as mentioned, and we've been following along with this story. I really am enjoying the series. But before we get into talking about that more, first of all, I've pulled up the credits here for filmmakers and cast for the video, so hopefully this can be useful for anyone looking to sort of see who is involved in the project. I think all these people deserve the full credit. Something I will note, and I did last video and what's really cool, is the cast here. I recognise a couple of names in there: Richard Reed, Penelope Rawlins, Jonathan Keeble, and John Banks. I all recognised. I'm sure I recognised a couple of the others as well, but for what I know them as is they are audiobook readers for Games Workshop. I think this is really cool that they've gone with these particular people who've worked for them before and giving them this fantastic opportunity to go and get their name and their voice out in actual animated TV series, which is really cool. So full congrats to them, and full congrats to everyone who is making the actual TV series. It's been awesome so far. But without further ado, let's get cracking on and let's chat about episode 3, Trail of Blood. So what's happened so far in the series? So episode 1 introduces us to the main cast of characters, along with sort of sets the ground, sort of floor of where we are. Their Space Marine captain and his little retinue went down to the surface and contact was lost with them. And so we sort of entered the time of when the rest of the Marines on board the ship are sort of deciding, well, what have they got to do? And just as they're about to make the decision, you think maybe they're leaning towards actually leaving the planet, they get a distress signal from the ground, and it's their captains, so they definitely suit up and get ready to go down. They make planetfall via drop pod insertion, and they become a little bit separated over the time, but after that, they sort of come into contact with some of the locals from the planet, and they find them quickly to be Genestealer cultists. One of the Marines in question is a Deathwatch veteran, so he just quickly picks up on something so minute, the rest of them just miss it, and it's the sharpened sort of fangs of the humanoid, sort of corrupted by the Genestealer, that he picks up on, and they immediately begin confrontation. A second episode takes us in further into this confrontation and actually shows our ship being boarded as well. And of course, all this is just sort of happening at the same time. The ship's being boarded while the Marines have left, and then we're getting the Genestealer cultists sort of trying to distract and sort of, I guess, make some traps for our Space Marines on the surface of the planet. But all of this sort of comes to a head, and we leave episode 2 with our Space Marines standing tall, having regrouped on the ground, and start smashing their way through the Genestealer cultists. And so in this episode, we sort of rejoin our ground forces, the Marines that are on the ground, our main sort of squad. We rejoin them as they're sort of ploughing their way through this just horde of ever-increasing amounts of, what are they called? Genestealer cultist members, and they're just wave after wave after wave, slowly being beaten back and destroyed by our Space Marine heroes. Now, while they are doing this and they're sort of fighting their way through the thick, and there are some really cool fight scenes in this, we really get a good look of different sort of fighting and all that in this particular set, and some different sort of angles and some looks at it all is really fun. Meanwhile, the cultists that are on the ship, or at least are trying to board the ship, have sort of made it so it's lashed on and it can't break free, and in the end they start sort of overrunning the loading bay and the docks, and eventually it is our Tech Marine who comes and saves the day and starts absolutely beating these cultists up, just smacking his way through with that giant power claw on his back and his giant axe of the Omnissiah. It's really cool to see a Tech Marine in action like this and just show how powerful, while he is, a mechanic effectively for the Space Marines, he is a no less astute fighter. So we get this really cool look. Meanwhile, we've got problems with the ships, and the Chaos cultists, Genestealer cultists, are sort of showing themselves and how bad the corruption is of the fleet as they start taking control of ships, and ships just start going out of sort of formation and leaving, and some start to try and attack the sort of Baal, which is our ship for our Space Marines. And we really do see like all this corruption that's just spread through this entire fleet just by docking at this planet, and how quickly it's all spread there. Meanwhile, though, back on the ground, as our Marines finally find the Thunderhawk and the distress signal from the captain, we find that they are maybe too late for some of their brothers. Terminators lay absolutely destroyed, and this is where we start worrying for our own Space Marine group in this, because Terminators are down. What does that mean? And eventually they sort of enter past where the Terminators were, and they come into contact with pure strain gene stealers. And that is where our episode ends, at pure strain gene stealers. We're about to see some amazing fights in the next scene, I think. I really look forward to what we're about to see and see the actual Xenomorphs in proper action. This is going to be a truly amazing episode. Next one we've set up for this sort of first major confrontation, and I look forward to seeing what's going to happen. Well, thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, if you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine community here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so by coming and joining our Discord, of which there is a link in the description of the video to go and join. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by Patreon, YouTube members, or by going and purchasing some merch on our Teespring store. You can find the links to all three in the description of the video, once again, to Patreon, YouTube members, and to our merch store on Teespring. But also, we'd like to give a special shout out to everyone who helps support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members. So, thank you to our patrons: Christian Weir, James, Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, Tim Newman, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, MJ, and Dynet226. And a special thank you as well to our YouTube members: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Steve T, The Real Zeop, Chris Wallace, Turai12, Vinny, Lock Lorick, Matt Mollin, Becca Kinska Groupie, The Johnny84, and El Mapache. Thank you as well, a special thanks especially to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel. An absolute legend of a person. And then thank you as well to the legend that is Xmorphic. He does so much amazing work in the background of our Discord server, making sure everything works and looks nice and pretty there for us all to enjoy. So that's enough said from me though. Thank you all for watching. Once again, stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.